Hey, it's me again. So now I'm going to talk about news impact on teenagers. Right now, it's nearly impossible to turn on the TV, open up a web browser, or just scrolling through Twitter or Instagram without being assaulted with notification of a new world disaster, or even two of them or three of them, thanks to the 24-hour news cycle, alerts of shooting, plane crashes, ISIS beheadings, crime, war, and human rights violations. These things are constantly just showing up in all forms of media, in the form of news. And this incessant news of violence and destruction may be messing with our heads. It sometimes makes people think the world is falling apart, but the world isn't falling apart. But it sure feels like it with all these exposures to those negative news. The news can be violent, depressing, and emotionally charged. That's what I'm trying to say. But why do we keep seeing news like this? According to political scientist Shanna Darian from the Washington Post, terrorism is newsworthy because it is inherently dramatic and threatening. Media competition means that journalists and editors have incentive to use emotionally powerful visuals and storylines to gain and maintain ever-shrinking news audience. So what does it mean? It means that people are interested into things that are dramatic and threatening, and these news include talking about violence and wars and like political movements are what catches people's attention, and for the news industry to keep on thriving, to keep on making money, they choose to broadcast negative news like those instead of the positive ones. But these constant exposures to such news can be really harmful. So now I'm going to talk to you guys about the effect of these so-called news. According to some psychologists, exposure to negative and violent media may have serious and long-lasting psychological effects beyond simple feelings of pessimism or disapproval. The work of British psychologist Dr. Graham Davey, who specialized in the psychological effects of media violence, suggests that violent media exposure can exacerbate or contribute to the development of stress, anxiety, depression, and even post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD. So yeah, news can be harmful to people, especially teenagers, because teenagers at their young age with like a less developed mindset can be, when they see those news, they might think the world is like inherently bad because there's just so many things happening around them in the world they live in that are just bad, that's just negative. So this action of all the news companies that with the purpose to making more money, to get more exposures, to catch more attention, just may be the reason why teenagers today are less peaceful.